So it says each of exactly six doctors, J, K, L, N, O, and P, is exactly at one or two clinics. So while most people would say this is a grouping game, I automatically think in and out,
Okay.
and they're either at S or they're at R. So I'm going to make S like my in group and R my out group,
Okay.
like for no other reason than just assigning it something random.
Okay.
Okay, so one says K is at R if J is at S. So really, what is our sufficient condition here?
J being at S.
Excellent.
J
So
being
what do we
in.
need to do?
So copy it and then circle J and slash S. Or wait, sorry, no, slash R.
What do we need to
Okay.
do first though? We need to just focus on our sufficient.
Oh, okay. Okay. So right. So make two game boards where you circle J.
Yes, and then the other one, what do we do?
And then K is slashed.
Actually, we do one where J is in and one where J is out. So we want to make both situations happen.
Oh, I see. I see. I see. Right. Okay.
So then
I
if J is in, then K is out. So cool. So
okay.
I'm going to put K out here. And then for the second one, we don't know anything.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so what about rule number 2?
So rule number 2, Onawa is at Sutterton if J is at R. So this in this one, it I guess copy and paste both of them, but it only works with
Yeah,
the
so
second
this one we
one.
get lucky, and typically we would have to copy and paste it and make it happen in both. But in this one, we already have if J is happening at both, so we don't actually have to copy and paste.
Okay.
Because if J is at R, that doesn't happen in one, so it doesn't matter. Where two, if J is at R, or if J is out, O is in. So I'm gonna
Right.
circle O in this one.
Okay.
Cool. All right, what about 3?
So if L is in, then N and P are out. So this you can copy and paste both.
Excellent.
And
And what are we gonna do when we copy and paste both?
in one of them, circle L, and one of them slash L.
Fabulous.
Do you always do the circling and slashing for in and out games
Yeah,
rather than making?
automatically.
Okay. Okay,
Oh
nice.
yeah, that's what circle slash is. Sorry, I should have made that more clear. It only works for in and out though,
Okay.
because like because a grouping, there's too many options.
Right. So two groups.
Yeah. All
Right.
right. So for this one, if L is in, so I have to make one where L is in, and then one where L is. Oh wait, I think I did. Hold on. Sorry, I want to make sure I do this right. Which ones are the same?
The two
Yeah. So
across is
yeah. So this L can be yeah. Okay. So L is in, and then one where L is out. And then what happens when L is in?
N and P are out.
Excellent. All right.
One
What about
thing
the,
that sorry, I'll tell you actually let's finish the rules, then I'll tell you one thing.
okay.
And then it says if N is out,
Mm-hmm.
so we already have that in two of the game boards and we don't in two of them, so we don't have to copy and paste, I'm guessing. Then
Well, like, okay, wait. No, because we've created difference. Each one of these are different at this point, right?
right.
So we don't have to copy and paste the ones that are already out. But the ones where we don't, we have to copy and paste.
Okay, right. Okay.
So
That's
we have if N is out. So
then
I'm like,
O.
okay, so these are cool. So I'm just going to ignore these for a second. The reason I like emphasize that so much is really just focus on the sufficient condition first so that we'd never forget something. Because I feel like people just like I think people forget to copy and paste a lot or to make the out of the sufficient because they just move. Sorry if that's me. Because they just like want to move on to what if N happens and then they forget to do like the opposite. So here
Right.
I'm going to copy like the second half here.
Okay.
I'm going to move these down. And then once again, I'm going to make one where n is in
Okay.
and one where n is out. So when
Okay.
n is out, what happens? So now that I have it all set and I'm like, I have all my scenarios, like, in my head, check that. Now I pay attention to what happens.
If n is out, O is out.
Okay. So in one, or let's call this A. So in A1, we cross out O. But what happens in A2?
That's a contradiction? So do you just throw the
Yep, it dies. Is like how I was taught. It dies.
Okay.
So it's like I would just cross that off on my test. All right. So
Okay.
then now we're looking at C1 and C2. If N is out, then so is O. So C1 works, but C2 does not work, so it dies.
Okay.
All right. So now our last one.
So if P is out, so first we want to take P, handle
Yes.
that so I don't.
So I'm like, cool. A is good, but B and C is not good.
Okay, so you want to copy all three and make a case where P is out
Yes, excellent.
and in. Okay.
So on the top, I'm going to make P in. And then on the bottom, I'm going to make P out.
Okay.
And what happens when P is out?
K and O are in.
All right.
So
A doesn't work anymore. And now I'm just looking at the bottom ones. This one doesn't work. K has to be in here.
right.
And this one
Okay.
doesn't work.
Okay. So you're down to
Now
4.
we literally only have all of our stuff taken care of, all of our rules, and we only have 4 scenarios that are possible. And we have them
almost
all figured out except for O could go either way here, and
right.
K can go either way here.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And so while we just took like 5 minutes to do that, we're gonna fly through the questions.
Right. So see, one thing that trips, like I remember when I did this game, I wrote for rule 1, I wrote K K, if KR then JS, and I always try to write the contrapositives, but I find that confuses me so much more. And I see that it doesn't, I know that it doesn't make sense to think about the contrapositive because you're handling the rule. Did you ever kind of struggle with
I
that?
did early. I struggled with it more here where it's like when it's in and out, because if K is at R, J is an S. So the contrapositive really is if J is in R, K is an S.
Yeah. So
And I don't like thinking of S and R. I don't like that there's 2 variables there. So that's why I love this and just assigning one in and one out. And so even
okay.
if this was R and S and I did it the old way, I finally got to the point where I just assigned one to in and out and would circle and cross it off and just treat it that way.
Okay. And it seemed and if you're accounting for the sufficient condition being met and failed, then you don't need to, that's the same thing as accounting for the contrapositive.
Yeah, we don't have to consider it because we made all the scenarios happen.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna try
what you're describing right now is exactly why in and out is amazing, because you don't have to worry about contrapositives at all because you're just basing everything based off of sufficient conditions.
What is the case where you can't do that, where you can't just base off of sufficient? Do you know? Is that
it would never happen in these in and out games using circle slash.
okay? Only in grouping or sequencing?
Yeah, if you had to pay attention to it, yeah.
Okay.
But that's why I teach it this way, because you never have to worry about it because you pay attention to all, because we make a world where everything happens.
Right.
So we don't have to keep it in our mind of oh, well, what if this happens?
Right.
And then so for example, just to see how quickly we will go through this, 20 says if P is out, then which of the following must be true? So I'm literally looking at 2. Does J have to be out? Yes. And we have our answer and I'm moving on.
Okay, wow. Yeah. No, it seems like a game changer. I'm gonna try it.
I think it could be huge for you.
Thank you for showing